can I say? I mean, I think they stepped up at the end and made the plays they needed to make. I mean, Julius has made several big shots against us in both games. Probably the third or fourth shot he's hit like that down the stretch of a game. And we have to be, stronger defensively to guard against, possessions like that. I thought, they did a good job, rebounding the basketball. I thought better than they did in the first game. They out-rebounded us this game. Had some big offensive rebounds when they needed them the most. And we have to do a better job of making sure that we don't give up the second and third shot attempts. And, we didn't do that as well as we needed to, especially in the second half. They had a couple of huge rebounds.
And not necessarily that final sequence, but maybe from the 2-minute mark to the 1-minute mark, you kind of alluded to it. They held possession for a long time. That seemed like the critical point of the game.
Exactly, and it was just them getting the back. We were getting stops. It was just them getting the ball back. They even missed some free throws down the stretch, which gave us even more opportunities. But they were able to, retain possession, and that's difficult. The clock is still ticking, and we're still in the same position. So that was challenging for us. I thought our guys still battled and tied it up. Showed a lot of character in doing that, but then it left them with the last possession. And like I said, a young man, a fifth-year senior, he steps up and makes a huge play.
So like you said, you guys tied it up. What are you saying to your team after getting two great defensive possessions? Now on the inbound the ball, what do you tell them going into the next possession?
Well, we told them, at that time out, it's about scoring a stop, and we got the score, and then we need to get the stop, and we just didn't get the stop. Those are plays you've got to make in that situation. Something that we've taken pride in here. And so it was difficult for us to lose, on somebody scoring for the game. That's not what we want. That's not what we want. And so that's what we talked about. We talked about the last possession, how we need to guard that, better going forward.
Coach, in the closing minutes, you talked about the offensive rebounds. I saw Michael Durr was on the bench until like the last few seconds of the game. Was there a reason? Was it because of the foul trouble or?
No, it wasn't foul trouble. We had him on the bench large because team that we actually were making a comeback in, was the team that was stayed in the game right there. So the guys we had, Taylor was at the 5. And, so be able to spread them out like we were able to do, and he generated offense for us in that situation. So, we went with that lineup, but we felt pretty much size for size. Taylor's such a good athlete. He matched up with their big, and then, our wings match up well with Davenport, and our guards match up well with Julius. So we didn't have a real big size advantage. What we didn't do is we didn't our attention to detail. We didn't execute it well. What we talk about, how we box out, who does what. I didn't think we executed as well, and that left the lane for Davenport, who was the one who got the rebound, the offensive rebound. So it wasn't a big guy. It was a wing player, and so there's no way that should have happened if we were in the right position.
You guys have lost 11 games this season. 9 have been by single digits. A few of them down to the final possession. How hard is it to win those games?
Well, no, it's difficult. They're all hard to win, even the ones that aren't one possession or two possessions. At this level, every game is very difficult. Everybody has good players. Everybody has really good coaches. So we know it's going to be a dogfight all the time when we're on the floor. What we have to do is we just need to step up and make the plays that we have to make. The games we've won, we've stepped up and made those plays. The games that we have not won, we've just not stepped up and made the plays that are there for us. Because we had plays in this game, as that were there for us to step up and make, whether it's the rebounding, whether it's offensively, whatever we're executing. We have the same opportunity as the other team, or we wouldn't be in that position if we didn't have those same opportunities. We need to step up and make those plays.
Your team forced turnovers, but maybe you didn't score enough points off of those turnovers. Is that a moment right there?
Exactly. Those are those plays, and then we look at the last possession. It's a one-possession game. They make the last play, or last game something similar. But it's all those possessions, like you said, we turned you over 15 times. Last game, 24 times. So we need to capitalize on those situations. Those are all possessions that we're gaining, extra possessions we're gaining, but we need to capitalize on. That's why we need to step up and make the plays and reward ourselves really for that type of effort. I mean, the effort's amazing. We got to reward ourselves.
Go back to that Memphis game. How did that end there? What were you hoping was going to be that last play?
Well, we knew we were going to get fouled. So it's a matter of just holding the basketball until we get fouled. I thought we got sped up for no reason. I thought we just got sped up. We were young. We got sped up in the situation instead of just catching the ball, catching and facing, holding it, letting the people foul us. We were moving the ball around a lot and fast for no reason, because if they want to let it run out with me just holding it. And then if they foul, I go to the line. Every single guy that touched that ball, 4 guys touched that ball in that last possession. 4 guys on our team. Not one of them is really under like an 80% free throw shooter. So whoever had the ball, just hold it And it's ironic, we had worked on, in-game situations on Tuesday. And, closing the game out. And the things we always say is, 2 things we got to do. Take care of the basketball, just make free throws. When you have the lead like that, you'll be fine. And so we didn't take care of the basketball, and that led them to a, live ball turnover. It's hard to guard live ball turnovers. They're just out and running for layups. And so that's where, we discussed that, and that's what happened toward the end of the game. I thought, to be quite frank, I thought DJ got bumped at the end. I mean, they were trying to foul. I thought he got knocked around a little bit. But refs usually aren't going to call that. I mean, at the end of the game, they're going to kind of let you play through a lot. And, we just need to be stronger with the basketball.
Despite having Michael Durr and Taylor Hendricks back, your tandem, Odio O'Gorman went 7 for 7 inside. How do you guys set a more aggressive tone inside the paint?
Well, I mean, he did a good job of finishing around the basket. He definitely finished with, in the post. But several of his shots were just on pick and roll. He rolled down the middle of the lane and dunked it. So that has nothing to do really with our bigs in that coverage. It has something to do with our rotations that we make, that we're supposed to have. And so I can't put that on our bigs. If he scored maybe a jump hook or 2, offensive rebound putback maybe, but the other probably 4 to 5 possessions that he scored on was off the ball screen, and that we can't have.
Durr led the team scoring with 15. Was it good to have him back in a full go situation?
No, it's good to have him back. As always, you insert a new guy in the lineup. That means your rotations and things are changing with like Lahat and with Silla. And some things with our perimeter guys, some things are changing because Ty was hurt, so Ty couldn't go today. So now that brings PJ more into the picture, and Suggs, gave us a lot. So those things are going to happen whenever you have guys returning from injury. And so we're just getting back in the rhythm with that for sure, like we did when DJ finally got back. And now we're doing the same thing with Mike. But that's going to happen. Like I said, our best basketball to me is still ahead of us. I'm a believer in our team and our group, and we have to keep on fighting, and then we have to make it happen. And that's just how I look at things. Like I said, I'm not a pessimist, I'm an optimist. I think if we're in all these games, we have a capability of winning all of them. And that's the thing. I think we're a dangerous basketball team. We just have to hit stride.
What's Ty's injury?
He has a toe injury, like turf toe type of injury. So it's tough, and that's one of those injuries that as soon as you feel better, you stub it again, you right back in square one. So he's battling through that, and he's getting better, but he's not at that point where he could have played today.
It felt like, from my perspective, when Durr went to the bench, they attacked the paint. They had a couple dunks when he was on the bench. He'd come back and they'd have some opportunity to score in the paint, but it wasn't as nearly as much. So what impact does his presence make when he's on the court defensively?
Oh, huge. I mean, like I said, when his presence, you can look at the numbers and it tells everything. When he's played for us, points per game when he's played, versus when he hadn't played for us, is a stark difference. And so, yes, we know he gives us a really good presence. He's big, he's physical, and he's experienced. So he knows how most of the coverages that we talk about, he understands those coverages pretty well. And so that helps as well.
Coach, moving forward, what can you guys work to reward yourselves from those efforts that you guys have been putting in?
Well, I think tough lessons are lessons learned. I'm a big believer in the tougher the lesson, as much as it hurts right now, and it definitely hurts me and it hurts our team, I think you grow and you learn from being in those positions, what to do. You have to remember, we're out there a lot of times, Jalen, sophomore, Darius, sophomore, Taylor, freshman, and when Silla was playing, another freshman. And then you're looking at, guys like PJ, when he gets in the game, he's a freshman. So we're out there in some cases, and it's just a tough learning experience, but you can't avoid some of that with those guys. You're hoping that your upperclassmen can, step up in these situations and make sure that we kind of keep everybody poised and doing the things we need to do. And they're not doing a bad job of it, to be quite frank. They're talking with our guys, and they're helping them as best they can. They're learning our system too. They're new, so they're learning our system, but they are, it's a function of not being as experienced in some cases. And I think some of the things that have happened to us in these type of games goes with just being a little bit more experienced and understanding exactly how to get it done.
Even though the ball didn't bounce your way tonight, what's some positive you can take away from this game?
I thought our second half, we shoot 58% versus this team in the second half. They're a pretty good defensive team. So I thought we did a lot of good things offensively. I think that's a positive. I thought our upperclassmen, when I look at Michael Durr, Ithiel, and CJ, especially Ithiel and CJ in the second half, and Michael Durr throughout the game, upperclassmen, stepping up and doing the things that they're capable of doing. We think those three guys are as good as any of the guys at their position. And I was glad to see them play like that. So now we need to keep that going where those guys remember what they did in the second half, and let's retain that going forward. And I think that makes us a very formidable team because, we have a lot of threats out there that are capable of having really good nights offensively.
Darius had a couple of tough moments there with the back-to-back fouls. What happened there, and what did you say to him?
I didn't see the plays, so it's tough for me to say. I mean, they went back and reviewed a flagrant. I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but I didn't see it. Can anybody tell me what they saw?
I don't know.
I mean, I didn't see it, but it wasn't. I know it wasn't to the point where somebody saw it right away because they went backtrack to get that play. So it wasn't something that was that egregious where it was obvious everyone saw what happened. So I don't know and can't really tell you. And then the technical, it's just, one word versus another word. I mean, I didn't say but X, Y, and Z, and I got teched. So I'm not sure if, the ref may have said, don't say anything else to me. So next time he says something, he got a technical, or, I don't know. I mean, I don't know exactly because I wasn't there in that conversation to understand exactly what happened. But it was difficult because both of those plays we had momentum, and all of a sudden they go into the free throw line and they're getting the ball back. So you're getting 6 points, potentially 7 points or so, depending on if you're the three in that possession, and the ball back. I mean, that's a tough, all of a sudden that lead balloons from 2 points or so to like 9, 8 or 9. And that's to our kids' credit, we didn't let it dissuade us from, still playing hard, and we fought our way back.
You sat him for a while there after that. Did you need him to regain his composure? Or?
Yeah, and also not only that, we looked at, it was going pretty good for us with the lineup we had out there. We kind of go with the guys who, Jalen was, running it pretty well. The other guys around was playing. So we had a good flow going at that point in time. You don't know if that's going to happen, but when it happened, that gives us a chance to give DJ a little more rest. So he comes back at the end of the game, he's fresher. Because he played so many minutes for us. Even this game right here, he played 29. This is probably 30 really. It's the lowest game he played. Last game he's almost 40. He's played like 39 minutes, and he's been playing those type of minutes. So that's tough. So you want to try to, if you can give a guy a blow or rest, and guys who's supporting are holding their own or even helping us, gain a lead or increase a lead or catch up, and that gives us more time for him to be rested. So coming down the stretch, he's fresher, and so we looked at it that way. The lineup was playing fairly solid, so it was no need to change. Let him get rest. When he comes back, he's ready to go.
How big is it to win this next game, this War on I-4 game here at home?
It's very important. One, it's our rival game, so that always makes it important. And two, we're still playing for something. We have opportunities in front of us, and we have to take advantage of that. And so we need to be a very excited team with a lot of energy to compete and keep moving forward.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, guys.